ignorance is bliss. It's folly to be wise, but is a dumb boy and a parrot open my eyes. In the morning when I gone to work and leave me house, like my girlfriend used to entertain, she boyfriend rouse. Every evening I would feed this parrot red pepper, and the dumb boy used to get a half of my supper. We became friends because I was kind, and this is how they trying to tell me in pantomime. The boy said, ooh, ah, e, oh, oh, and he pointing straight at me back door. Hey, 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 the parrot say, walla, walla, bing, bang, in there. I didn't stop to study this boy too well, and the story that the parrot trying to tell. I'm coming home from work as usual this day, and my girlfriend tried to greet me in the usual way, but like she fed the man my whiskey and got him drunk, so she hide him in the bathroom in my bathing trunk. And as I reach in, she plant a kiss on me mouth. The parrot stoops and the dumb boy cock up his snout. He start again, ooh, ah, boom, 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 and he pointing straight at the bathroom. Hey, 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 Lorito say, walla, walla, bing, bang, in day. I came home next evening about 10:30, and it was kinda late to feed my pantomime friend. I reached in the yard, the parrot started to bawl. The boy sleeping, but the parrot won't sleep at all. So I fed him some red pepper in a butter pan. He so vexed, man, he pelting, bite at me hand. The dumb boy wake up when the parrot said, look, something pointed growing out from your forehead. He start again, ah, af, af, af. Man, the parrot bust out a big laugh.
A pleasant good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen.
Walla, walla, bing, bang. Today
is another wonderful, wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing this afternoon?
At length and at last, I finally saw why this boy was only pointing at my back door. I surprised them by passing in the back road, and as I coming in, the boyfriend was going out. But this is something I couldn't understand. He had something like a chicken leg in his hand. So I went in the kitchen and peeped in the brew, not realizing I was gazing at parrot stew. The boy said, ah, eh, eh, eh.
So we are ready again for another afternoon.
Hey, hey, hey.
Go ahead right now and share the live.
Walla, walla, bing, bang. Today.
Once you're on the live right now on Facebook, I want you to hit that share button. Persons on my YouTube page, a pleasant good evening to you. This is the 11th day of October 2023. It is approximately 2 minutes past the hour of 6. Class, ladies and gentlemen, is in session. Yours truly, Royalty James. I'm here for another wonderful, wonderful evening, ladies and gentlemen. And we are going to kick off another wonderful conversation. Remember, once you're on the live right now, I am seeing 28 persons viewing right now. I want to see 28 sharing right now. I want all the persons that are on the live right now, share the live, let persons know that we are on. We are ready to have a conversation. Go ahead and just hit that share button. Make it public. Call somebody. Wake somebody. Knock on the door by somebody. You remember that one? Knock somebody. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so it's going to be another wonderful, wonderful evening. It was humid today. I had to do a little bit of walking today, and I can tell you, man, oh my goodness, the humidity was great, but by God's grace, I guess more than everyone, I would have had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. I think my day was better than yours. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to jump in our conversations. We're not going to stick because, you know, definitely we don't want to be caught up in the little time that we have. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to, and I know the many of you that follow my Royalty James's page, I would have made a status this morning. And I really don't want it to be geared to just be a political conversation, but I think it is a social issue that I've been observing, and it is in this modern era really, really, really ridiculous. It is ridiculous in a technological stage that we're in. Now, I had to go into St. George's today, and in doing so, I had to go into the Inland Revenue Department. But before leaving home, I wanted to ensure that the inquiries that I ought to make or want to make with the Inland Revenue Department, I can do so via my telecommunication system. All right? And so just about after 8 this morning, I contacted the Inland Revenue Department. There was about 4 numbers that are placed on the IRD page. If you Google it, the Inland Revenue Department, you would get those numbers. Now, I called and I called and I called. Up to this time that I'm speaking to you, although I have gotten through with what I went to do, funny enough, I was not getting through with all the numbers used. And when I got there, I shared my displeasure with the young lady. When I got there, would you believe that she gave me another number? She said all the numbers, because I listed for her. I took my phone out and I said, this is the numbers that I called. This is the times that I called. She said, no, none of them is in actual use. I said, but they're ringing. It's not I'm getting a feedback like, hey, this phone is out of service or anything like that. I was actually getting ringtones. And she said to me, no, this is the number to use. And listen to me, this has been an ongoing issue. Transformational administration. Let's get that right. That is really bad. Because there are many persons that travel from long distances. And sometimes you're going through town. And especially in the financial aspect of it. Now you want to go and make a payment at Inland Revenue Department. And so you may not know the specific amount. So if you inquire and you go into the teller, you know what amount of money that you may have to take out or so on or so forth. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it right. Let's get it right. That is really bad. Another observation, and I go more so to Nawasa. Right? I remember one of my friends sharing the experience with me that one time he traveled to the United States, and so during the evening period, when trying to get back home, he would have realized that there was a broken road where he would usually have to pass to get back home. Right? And so when he got there was a broken road, so he had to divert traffic. And he said the morning when he was out to work or going out to work, he realized that the road was fixed and the road paved and lines and so on joined the road. Right? I am saying this to say, ladies and gentlemen, the kind of hours we see especially Nawasa, wanting to sometimes do repairs are really ridiculous. We're not saying that they're not unforeseen circumstances, but I believe the Saturday evenings and the 8 o'clock in the morning and those kind of times we see, just about a few Saturdays back, they're in the Woodlands area. No form of identification, nothing to say, well, okay, walk ahead, nothing. And they were literally a tractor in the road digging out some dirt. You can have your workers rest all day. We know what the vehicular traffic is like in Grenada. We know what it is like. And so we need to get that right, ladies and gentlemen. All right? We need to get that right. And let's get it right in the proper way. All right? So let's jump into the actual political conversations. Ladies and gentlemen, he was brought to the social media platform of a comment or status made by the Honorable Andy Williams. And I'm calling him Honorable. Right? I'm calling honor. You all know me. That is me. You have to respect the office of the individual. Right? Brother Andy Williams, that controls the AJ Williams page, would have posted on his Facebook page this. Sorry to disappoint the paid NNP activists, but traveling comes with the job. The only difference is your travels were paid for by Grenada. Let me take that again. The only difference is your travel were paid for by Grenada. Our travels are paid by the host. Oh, I forget. And we get results. He says, stay focused, folks. These people are desperate. Who pays over $30,000 per month to spread propaganda? So this is on the page of Brother Andy Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put things into perspective. Now, if you are going into a country and your travels are being paid for by the host of that country, what do you think that happens when you are now hosting that person that hosts you? No, let's put things into perspective. So you're going to China. China pays because they're going to host you. So China does all the expenditures. So when Chinese or Chinese representative, I should say, come to Grenada, what happens, Brother Andy Williams? Think before you talk. You're basically opening a can of worms by making that statement. Because if you're saying that the host is paying to have you there, when they come here, who pays? So either way, isn't the money being spent? Isn't Grenada's money being spent either way? But however, he went on to speak as it relates to who pays over $30,000 per month to spread propaganda. Well, you see, as I always say, they just forget it. They just forget. So let me remind Brother Andy Williams of this.
Now, everybody knows me to be, well, what seems to be a strong NDC supporter. But I come bringing sad news, with disturbing news, unfair news. Now, before election, right before Kit called election, he announced a date. Now, I text Andy Williams. I said, Andy Williams, I want to support the NDC. He said, yes. He said, well, yeah, you could support me, you know, and we agree with I coming over to Grenada, you know, to campaign and then walk around and all these different things. Well, of course, they had to pay for my plane ticket, put me in hotel, and, well, get a fee.
No, tell me what they had to do.
1,500, no. And we agree with I coming over to Grenada, you know, to campaign and then walk around and all these different things. Well, of course, they had to pay for my plane ticket, put me in hotel, and, well, get a fee, which was 2,500 EC for the length of time that I will be there in Grenada. Bam! The next day, the PRO of the NDC called me. Now, he don't know me and Andy Williams talk, eh? He called me on the same mission. He wants me to make videos with what's going on in Grenada against the NNP. So I said, well, I just spoke to Andy Williams, so you can later to him, so both of you could talk, and he mentioned that, you know, he and Andy will split the price now, so they will bring me over. Bam, kid.
Technology, ladies and gentlemen. Technology. So his post that spoke to the NNP administration at present is paying $30,000 per month to have people spread propaganda. You are accommodating a foreign individual who had the lone task of simply to speak bad on the NNP. He said that it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I don't know me, I had a search for meeting and them, I don't. Because I want when they say what they say, I could be able to defend what I'm saying. So you speaking about people who pays over $30,000 per month to spread propaganda. You was paying $2,500 plus accommodation. You were paying that amount. You forget. You had forgotten that you were in agreement. Your National Democratic Congress, along with you, was in agreement to pay tax. $2,500 plus accommodation, plus his plane ticket to come and spread propaganda. That's what his task. Like you forget. And now you're up on Facebook speaking about staying focused. You forget. Somebody tag him, let me remind him. You understand me? They just forget. They just forget. And the thing about we as Grenadians, we does not forget. I was glad we doesn't forget when they do that in an election. Alright? But anybody saying they travel for free yet cannot answer the opposition leader question in parliament. If Grenada government don't spend to travel, then the answer should be easy. The answer should have been very easy. So, Brother Williams, don't forget, your administration, along with you, was in agreement to pay tax from Trinidad and Tobago to simply throw dot on the new National Party. Expenses paid by your political organization. So you come now talking about NMP paying $30,000 for spreading propaganda. You are willing to do it during the general election. You are willing to do it during the general election. So what is it? What is it about the NMP paying people to spread propaganda? And it's not propaganda. It is not propaganda. It is information that is most relevant to today's political conversation. It is most relevant. And when you come on those different programs, you hear things that is intriguing you. And hence the reason why people have posed questions to you guys. When you travel, the host pays. So when the hosts come, when you're hosting, who pays? Because if when you go, they pay. When they come, you're paying again. So it's just take. They don't give. You don't give. Hey. Andy Williams, wherever you're sitting or standing, ease up on your brain. You maybe have a little bit of too much a load on it. And so you don't take the time to process when you're talking. And yesterday I played another clip. It's like you just do things. You want to be so social media fuzzy that you are not thinking. And here's what I'm saying. You don't understand politics. You may understand how to be a politician. You understand me? You like some fellas, they know to carry out the day for the wedding. They dress nice and they look nice for the wedding ceremony. But they're not ready for marriage. And that's the difference. You may understand politicians because you see politicians doing this and politicians doing that. But the thing about politics, there are times, there are harsh decisions to make. There are times you just can't get it done. It doesn't mean that you don't like, but you understand. You understand. And that is what politics is about. The service to people is what you call a politician. When you're serving people, you're a politician. But politics go way beyond that, brother. Way beyond that. And unless you don't understand that and get away from the social media attention that you're wishing to seek, you're going to continue to sink yourself deeper. Because there are persons out here that is as intelligent as you and more intelligent than you are. Because when you get in front of a mic or a camera, you tend to sometimes talk a little bit of defecation. And you need to take it easy. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to move on because I could clearly recall, and maybe you all could help me here. This is in the number 10 son must keep himself quiet in London. Them was running the mother, so he must tell the funding medical residency. All right, I can read out all that. Like, my lack of the program. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on. Now, based on the modus operandi that was taken up by the Royal Grenada Police Force, and so headed by him, is what I want to call the person, I want to believe that we were out to have quarterly reviews as it relates to what is taking place in Grenada in terms of our crimes and so on. I thought that was the practice that was being taken, because I can remember this one.
They deny that this information came from me. We have, since the start of 2023, saw an uptick in reported violent crimes, particularly among our young people, during the first quarter of 2020.
Right, I'm pausing it there. So we heard what is the assessment for quarter one, the first quarter, because because there was a press conference held and we knew what was going on for quarter one. So if my maths served me right, first quarter would have been January, February, March, April. First quarter. Then second quarter would take us to May, June, July, August. Where is your update? Where is our update? Give us the update. We have passed the next quarter. Give us the update now. Let me know what's going on. You were out and about for first quarter. First quarter, you bad, you sweating, you don't want to drink water. Let me know what's going on for second quarter now. You don't speak nothing about second quarter. Because we had briefing, you understand me, as it relates to first quarter. What happened to second quarter? Second quarter's on 15 cents. Second quarter's on 75 cents. Let us know. Let's get an update. We call on the RGPF to give us a second update as it relates to the next quarter, the second quarter of the year, in terms of what is going on in our criminal or the criminal practices that take place. We're in third quarter now. Maybe the quarters before turn, we use it as a dollar. We need to know. Come and give us some information, and this is what I'm saying. This is you have to call on people to do that. That's your job. The expectation is that at the end of the next quarter, we were supposed to get our update. But however, ladies and gentlemen, there was no updates. But anyways, let us know, ladies and gentlemen. And today, you all might find me dipping a little bit into the policing aspect in me, because I am going to ensure that today we're going to use the little clip that we have. We have like a 7 minutes clip, because you know me, I always tell you guys I want to hear both sides of the story. You remember? All the live to place, and if you all don't know what you're going to hear, remember I started by playing this song here. For those of you who started like that, the name of the song is called The Dumb Boy and the Parrot. That's the name of the song for those of us who don't know. The name of this song is called The Dumb Boy and the Parrot. Now I'm going to play a next song, but it's this one, they talk in it, they don't sing in it. This is The Dumb Boy and the Parrot now. So listen to The Dumb Boy and the Parrot. Listen very carefully. And as I said to you guys, I want you, the policing aspect is going to come within me today, and the interrogation might be conducted. I may not get answers, but let us listen to The Dumb Boy and the Parrot. Let's listen to that song. Let me press play.
And in fact, fake page is the order of the day.
Right along live. Now the accident. Tell us the story from your perspective. What really happened?
Yeah. So that day I came out, we were distributing school bags to various constituents. We were behind schedule. And as such, I went to drop one of the workers home who spent the entire day with me. And so I dropped him home, living up Willis. But there was a birthday party around a corner. So them guys flagged me down. And you know how it is. You can't drive in a constituency and see an activity happening. You ain't stopping and so. So that's a normal thing. So I stopped up there. We eat wild meat, bought some drinks for the guys. I got a bottle of water and I headed off. Mm-hmm. When I headed off, no, the narrow roads in Willis is very difficult to articulate if you're not a good driver. And in some instances is prone for accidents, because years ago, you could have walked through Willis free once you know Mr. This gone, because maybe about 4 or 5 vehicles existed at the time, years ago. But times change. We now have new routes, Monkuma Road, all kind of areas people would pass in. So you have to always be careful. Traffic is always oncoming. So after I passed the shop, I think I took the 2 individuals that were there, just hail them up and driving along. I mean, I was startled, and I know the bike men was startled. Young people, they're having fun, and I ain't vexed with them for that. They're racing. And as such, I had to be very careful, because on the opposite side of me was a drain.
Right.
Deep drain. And it's either 2 things. Either I took the decision to go down alongside that drain and avoid everything altogether. And the threat was, if I took that decision, there were 2 young children, females, in fact, young girls, walking on that side of the road as well. So had I gone down there and would have had to dance and so on, that would have been a recipe for disaster. That van could have flipped, all kind of things. You never could have tell what could have happened.
Right.
And as such, I almost had to avoid the young man and still stay the course without almost going down in the drain. So the road is very narrow. In fact, anyone can go there and they can see where the marks are from when we went to recount the accident itself. So that road is a very narrow road. Additionally, it's a blind corner. Because once you're by the shop, you cannot immediately see. You're coming up a hill and it's a corner. Right? You cannot immediately see what is coming. So yes, you have to be cautious, but both drivers had to be cautious. So that was the real issue. The incident occurred, and my initial reaction was to get help for the young man. Now, I could have ignored the whole situation because clearly I was impacted on my side, but I didn't see it like that because that's not how you live life. I took the young man to the hospital. I remember him calling his mom, etc. And by the time I reached the hospital, I saw all kind of things. But I ignore all of these things because at the end of the day, I just wanted to know if the young man was okay.
Were you speeding? Or were you on the phone?
No, I was not on phone or anything like that. In fact, the phone was on the chair, right? Right where I left the phone when I came out from the vehicle by the birthday party. I left the phone in the van. So the phone was on the chair, right? So I wasn't speeding or anything. People say I had a drink in my hand. People say I had a lady in the van, all kind of thing. Absolutely nothing of the sort.
So hold on. So you didn't have a drink in your hand?
No, I didn't have any drink in my hand. I didn't have no phone in my hand. I wasn't on the phone or anything like that. But if you're on the phone or you have a drink, you wouldn't be speeding. I mean, that's just difficult to do in the first place. So that was just...
How are you clarifying these things? Because, again, all of this stuff was put out there.
So it's a case where lie, eventually you might get some to believe, and then some who just fed up, you'll get them not to vote, etc. So we understand the intent with all this propaganda and lies and so on. And in fact, fake page is the order of the day. Because I could tell you, most of these people who hiding behind a fake page is because they can't say it up front because it's not true. And that's just the reality. But outside of that, I could tell you this, that I didn't stop there. And I didn't have to do it because I did not take liability for the accident. So the Friday, when we went to recount the accident itself, I spoke to Mom, I asked if the principal was in contact with our school, etc. Because I personally, one of the first things I did was to meet with the principal to discuss the student and to ensure that his education would be preserved, that he wouldn't lose time, whatever material that he would require, etc. Please make it available. Whatever we can do from a ministry standpoint or government standpoint, we are prepared to do that. And then the second element was to engage hospital services to ensure that he would get all the care without any major costs or anything like that. So we did that from institutions or an institutional standpoint. Now, I was a bit surprised because the Friday this occurred, the Saturday I had some work doing, and I'm a family man as well. So my children are always ramping on me, and so I could never get anything done home unless they're gone to sleep or I'm at the office, which I am not. No. So the Friday, the Saturday, Sunday, someone drew to my attention that I am being accused of all kinds of things on a live. And I was a bit taken aback. Because contrary to what people say, I am not an evil person. In fact, anybody could come. They used to worry for me and give me a nice story, and I just say, all right, don't bother, hold that, tell yourself, do what you have to do, or they need to get something. So I'm not that kind of person who holds grudges, and I'm not that kind of person, right? But I was really taken aback, and in particular, with the levels of lies being told on me in particular, knowing fully well that none of that is true.
Right Along Live.
And in fact,
yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was the end of the story, the dumb boy and the parrot. That was the end of the story, ladies and gentlemen. You know, normally in class, when you hear the story, they tell you, creaks. Right. So let me break down the story now, because we want to ensure that we put a few things into perspective. And the little policing that was embedded in me, I'm going to take it out for a while. The question will ask whether or not you were speeding. But you see, then again, when you have the person hosting may not being able to intellectually understand the speaker that is giving the information that has been given, then the question posed will be null and void. Now, the question of whether or not you were speeding should not have been asked again when you said this. This here, right here.
Live.
Now, the accident. Tell us the story from your perspective. What really happened?
This
yeah. So that day I came out, we were distributing school bags.
Why?
To various constituents. We were behind schedule.
You were behind schedule. So the probability exists that you were in a rush. The probability exists because you're behind schedule. Anybody being behind schedule, the probability exists that you're in a rush. You want to get where you want to go. So yes, you drop an individual up Willis, and so the probability exists you might have to go and pick back up that person. So you now might have been rushing, and we're using your words. We're using your words, and you're mentioning that you all were busy. It was a very torturous evening. So you was maybe moving very fast, right? So on your way, you see a few guys, or you eat wild meat, and the question posed again by, well, the parrot. He asked that question when the question was already answered. When the gentleman said this here, ladies and gentlemen, when he said this, let me draw it up. Let me play it so you go here. This.
I got a bottle of water and I hit it off.
He got a bottle of water. He got a bottle of water. And he headed off. So you asking the question again, whether or not he had a drink should not have even been asked. If you were listening to the person in which you're interviewing. Because he said this.
Up there, we eat wild meat, bought some drinks for the guys.
Right.
I got a bottle of water and I hit it off.
Right. So, you got a bottle of water, and the probable time and space from where the accident happened, you had that bottle of water. You gave location as to the cell phone. It was on the chair. You denied a young lady in the vehicle. What became of that water in which you bought and headed off? Because you later mentioned that you didn't have no drink. No drink was in your hand. You mentioned that there was no drink in your hand. But you saying here that you bought a bottle of water and headed off. So what became of that bottle of water? Is the question asked to you, sir. If you were not in possession of a drink, or your question was asked, you didn't drink in nothing, any parrot. So you didn't drink in nothing. Let me see if I get it. Because I want to be prompt as to where.
Been a recipe for disaster. That van could have flipped out the and it's a corner, the young man. Not on phone or anything like that. In fact, I saw all kind of things, but I ignore all of these things because at the end of the day, I just wanted to know if the young man was okay.
Were you speeding? Were you speeding or were you on the phone?
No, I was not on phone or anything like that. In fact, the phone was on the chair.
He gave location for the phone?
Right where I left the phone when I came out from the vehicle by the birthday party. I left the phone in the van. So the phone was on the chair. Right. So I wasn't speeding or anything. People say I had a drink in my hand. People say I had
People didn't say that. People did not say that. You said you bought a bottle of water and headed off. And you gave location to every other thing that was in the transport. Your cell phone, right? You said it was on the chair. You denied having a young lady in the vehicle. So the question that should have been asked, where was the bottled water? And
a lady in the van, all kind of thing. Absolutely nothing of the sort.
Hold on. So you didn't have a drink in your hand?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
How could you have not had a drink in your hand when you said you buy a bottle of water and headed off? Nobody's putting that against
bottle of water and I headed off.
What you do?
So the guys, I got a bottle of water and I headed off.
What you do?
We eat wild meat, bought some drinks for the guys. I got a bottle of water and I headed off.
So you had a bottle of water in your hand. You got a bottle of water and you headed off. To the location of the water, we are unaware. So we could presume the water was either in the cubby hole, it could have been on the ground, and so too it could have been in your hand. So you denying that you never had a bottle. We're not saying that you're drinking alcohol, you know. We're not saying that you were drinking alcohol. The question asked is whether or not you had a drink. You stated earlier on in the interview that you did buy a bottle of water and headed off. You gave location to your phone most precisely. So we knew for a fact the phone was not in your hand. Right? The phone is not in your hand. We knew that. We got that because you specify where the phone was. But the bottle of water and the question asked again, after you said it, he still mentioned it. And he asked you, so you didn't have a drink? No, if you want to deny that you were not holding the drink, fine. But you cannot say you did not have a drink when you mention that you buy a bottle of water and headed off. To the location of the bottle of water, we don't know. To the location of the bottled water, we are unaware because you didn't give us that information. So for us to presume anything, as in the code, they would say, I'm putting it to you, that you were holding that bottle of water. Because you gave no location as to the bottled water. And then you denied having a drink at all. You had a drink. We're not saying it's an alcoholic beverage, but you had a drink. You bought a bottle of water and headed off. To the location of the bottled water, it is to our presumption. Because you gave no location as it relates to that bottled water. So we don't know where it is. So you in the court of law and a question and counsel is questioning you. He's going to say, I'm putting it to you that the bottled water that you bought lower down the road, it was in your hand. You could deny what is put to you, but you didn't give a location. Because imagine this is you giving your evidence. You never tell us where the bottled water is. And when the question asked you if you had a drink, you denied saying you have a drink. When earlier in the interview, you said you bought a drink. Brother, let's move on to the conversation. You understand me? You would have assessed how many times the conversation of the road is narrow, the road is narrow, the road is narrow, the road is narrow. You hear how many times that was mentioned? We know the road narrow. We are aware. We quite aware. But they tell you, any prudent driver that is aware as to the conditions of the road must take precaution. Because at the end of the day, if you're traveling during the summer vacation, close to Anglican High School, right? As opposed to when you're traveling on the road, when school open, your precaution as a prudent driver takes precedence. You know why? Because you have to be aware as a prudent driver as to the conditions of the road. So I am not expecting you to be speeding on Tantin Main Road after 2:30 during a weekday, because as a driver, as a prudent driver, your precautious measure to be taken is that there might be school children there. Right? So even if you were not speeding, brother man, and the oncoming vehicle, right, would have collided with you, the probability exists that there would have been minimal injury. You know why? Because one of the vehicle was not in its was it nice what it used again? In its acceleration mode. And I'm using quote terms. Because if one was not going that fast, then the impact from the other would not have been any detriment. But the mere fact, because look at the speed of the young man. Even if he had impacted your vehicle going at a even if you were stationary or going very slowly, his injury would not have been as much as it is now. I've been around traffic department for years. I know what I'm telling you. You understand me? So I'm not judging what is being said. We are come here to measure tape and pull tape. I am just using the evidence given thus far by the second party involved. Right? We have heard all the things from the mother, and you realize that I have never come on my program and speak to what the mother have said or what. I wouldn't want to do that. We want to hear it from the horse's mouth. The mother might have gotten the information from her son, and he might have twisted the story how he liked to tell mommy. But this is from the horse's mouth. That is where we get in the source law. Now, the question of what the ministry will do and what the government will do. How government and ministry reaching that? May I ask? And the persons at the general hospital. How did they reach in that? You met in an accident, right? In an individual capacity, in your individual transport or personal transport. So how government's expenditure plays precedence in this, my dear brother? That you want to see what the ministry or see what the ministry could do? How they got there when you had an accident in a personal capacity? So you see, you're just using the country's resources to your fancy. You're using the country's resources to your fancy. Because at the end of the day, where government come on to government do thing? And government and bill and to see what the ministry could do and what they had to do with that. You met in an accident in a personal capacity. This is not like the 17 times they bounced the Prime Minister vehicle. 17? 21? 23. Anyway, they bounced the Prime Minister vehicle. This is not a ministerial transport that you were driving. Because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, if a police officer is driving his personal transport, and we have seen it many times, he's driving his personal transport, he's going on his way home, he meets in an accident, the police come, they deal with the accident as is. Both parties are, the investigation happen, one charge, one no charge. But this individual can come and tell the individual, take your vehicle and bring it down in the police garage to get it fixed. You can do that. You're met in an accident in your personal capacity. So anything to be done there and then has to be done in your personal capacity, not government. How government reaching that? So somebody bounces somebody's personal business vehicle. So you're working in cooperative bank, you bounce your vehicle. You're the man meeting an accident and you tell him, come in cooperative bank tomorrow and collect a check. Cooperative bank go pay. This is not how it works. You met in an accident in an individual capacity. At that time there is no, when the police come, oh, Minister so-and-so, sorry. I don't know what government has to do that. No, I have no issue with you going to the school and seeking interest in terms of you wanting to get the young man's walk to him. That's no problem. That's no problem. And you didn't accept liability. You did not accept liability, which is a very technical statement in this whole thing. Very, very technical. Because if you did not accept liability, and to my understanding, you gave one or two little things. I understand there is an allegation of $400 being dropped at a particular place by a particular individual. We heard about it, but as I said to me, there's rumors, I propaganda. I don't like to spread that on them. I'm a program. You understand me? But we have like information that you said like $400. So if you did not accept liability and you don't have an evil heart, as you mentioned, I wonder why the mother is so outraged. I wonder why she's so outraged. Because at the end of the day, brothers and sisters, the fact of the matter is, in this whole circumstances, at the end of the day, and I said it from day one, this should not have been looked at in the manner in which it was. You understand me? You're in your constituency, and you should have dealt with that in an amicable situation in way. Call the parties together, maybe have a chat with them, say, listen to me, it's an unfortunate situation, but look at what I'm willing to do. This is being human. It takes nothing away from you, brother. Nothing, absolutely nothing. You are just simply being human. And this is not about accepting liability or not accepting liability. You just accept what is. There's a situation happened involving a young man, and so what is the expectation? That the police charge a young man? That is the expectation? You didn't accept liability on the basis of what? That the police charge a young man? Come on, we need to be humane. And then to go and spread this kind of story, and then persons who maybe don't understand the whole concept. Well, somebody's asking whether or not he should be speaking on the issue because on the issue publicly. I mean, it is up to him. It is up to him. The thing about traffic offenses, they are not criminal offenses. You know, it's not like if he gets charged, he's going to have a criminal charge against his name, right? And I don't want to mention that, right? I would just use it as a reference that if it means that the whole charge changes and an individual meeting an accident and 2-3 months down the road, they might have succumbed to the injury in terms of fatality, then it takes a different course, right? But as of now, it is just a mere vehicular accident. As I said, it is not one where any criminal charges go against your name if you're charged for driving without due care and attention or speeding or whatever, right? Those things they don't give you a conviction, right? However, in the moral aspect of it, persons may say, well, oh, the minister of government and such and such and such. But again, and remember I mentioned, you don't want to put it on a political front, right? You don't want to put it on a political front. I don't know what the Public Service Commission or whomever that oversees them may say if he is charged for the offense of driving without due care and attention, right? Then yes, I think permanent injury, like if you had to use a wheelchair and so in the public speaking part of it, I think it can be done. I would seek further information. I don't want you to put it that it is concrete, right? But I think it is okay. I think it is okay for him to be able to converse on the conversation in the capacity in which he's doing it, right? Because you have to take into consideration that the mother of the young man basically did what he's doing, right? She's not being questioned or anything like that, but she's making the information public, right? And information that it's been used or has been used by the police. So I think it is okay. I don't think there is nothing offensive about he being in the position to make the conversation public. All right. I hope this answers your question, my dear. And it goes further. Yeah, but at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I honest, and I said that from day one, let us look at the individual involved. This is not two vehicles, no two grown persons. We have a young individual who's involved in this whole situation, and that is where it should start. Right? That is where it should start. We should just look at the humane part of it, whereby, hey, you know, I'm sorry that your son is involved in this, but let me do what I can and see, you know, what I can do or whatever. But I mean, and then he's publicly mentioning that government is going to, and the ministry, and no. You did something in a personal capacity, and you see the thing about it again. You don't even want to shade it to say, well, okay, you know, the accident happened, and so I tried to use some of the entities in which I can, you know, use in terms of assisting. You know, no. Say the government and the and your ministry. No, brother, I don't think I would not condone, or I should not agree to condone such a statement. All right, but you understand what we're saying here, right? Right or wrong to the accident, I can't give that. This is not in my pay. You understand me? But what I can tell you is, based on what is given, you're giving glitches to somebody who understands the concept of a vehicular accident and what should really happen. All right? Somebody saying, as a minister of youth, he should have more consideration of the young man involved. It is ridiculous. He is not even spending money he said government would pay. All right? That again, as I said, you should have never mentioned the government, right? You're part of a government organization, but as I said to you, even if you're part of an organization and you're in an involved, you didn't get the Ministry of Youth vehicle. Sorry, you did not. You wasn't involved with the Ministry of Youth vehicle. It's your vehicle, and so what has to be done in a personal capacity. Right? Teacher, can you please let the class know who lose election day? 13th March 2018 and 19th February 2013. I have enough intelligent children in the class to know the answer to such question. All right? March 13, 2018, 15. March 2013. Sorry, February 19, 2013. 15 again. Right? I think many of us do know the answer to that question. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, it was not we will have one of the lengthy evenings this afternoon, right? One little win, or you'll go acting like them votes. We get a chance to read everything. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so the Carriacou and PD Martinique New York chapter, they are presenting to you Fish Fry, the new national party. Carriacou branch, they having a fundraiser. The menu, $25. Fried fish, and wow, that word, excovished fish. All right, chicken, pork, goat, cuckoo, chow mein, rice and peas, salad, and many more. There is a solid bar that will be awaiting you once you get there. They're going to be located on 302 East 91st Brooklyn, New York, between Lenox and Claxon. So the persons out there in the diaspora, get ready to be a part of this one. And also this right here.
Presents Bottle and Buckets. Going down on Saturday, November 11th at 409 Maple Street, Brooklyn, New York. Featuring DJ Magician, DJ Synergy, Naughty Vibes, and DJ Silence. You must be 21 and over. Drunk is the code. Bottle package is available. For more info, contact 347-304-5453. Bottle and Buckets. I don't care what time of day it is. I drink it. BAB. Get your advance $30 tickets now, or you pay more. Buckets. Bottle and Bucket, Saturday, November 11th. Be there.
So the persons out there in the diaspora, you have that one that is also coming up. All right, to the cricket lovers. All right, for the persons that will go to Malmont on a Sunday to watch cricket, this Sunday you can enjoy New Generation, which they're playing game 1. They will be taking on Hankies. Game 2, Senior Pros, they're taking on Dynamites. Game 3, you'll see Westerhall Strikers. They'll be taking on Up Top Blazers. And the final game of the evening, you would see Cafe versus Bus Boys. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're going to be a part of this one, be a part of something that is great. All right. And we're moving on. Don't forget to the people out there in Carriacou and PT Martinique. If you want to enjoy the best in grills, you can check out Mr. Grills International. They cater or specialize in outdoor catering, private function, pool party. You can contact them you can catch them on Instagram on Mr. Grill International, or you can email them on mrgrill12341@outlook.com, or you can call him on 410-7530. All right. You can get rib, wings, fish, and more. That is on Carriacou, the Sister Isle. For those of you that might be visiting, don't forget there is Confest that is coming up at the end of this month out there on the Sister Isle. So be a part of that. There is Isle of Riff. They bring to you flavors of the world. Mr. Grill International, again, you get culinary art and experience combined to offer you an international menu. Treat your palate to a world tour while savoring our beautiful island of Carriacou and PD Martinique. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was another wonderful, wonderful evening. Very wonderful evening. We would have had conversations that I know would have intrigued some of you guys. I know some of you all might have learned something new today, right? I think our conversation was linked on the educational side, especially that of the vehicular accident conversation. I think I would have enlightened somebody about something that they maybe did not know. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure to be here, and it's always a pleasure to be here with you guys. I'm thinking that I'm signing out a little bit earlier than usual today. It is just about 4 minutes to go. So, I don't know if you want to call in. We're gonna use our time. We are going to use our time. All right. So, right now, if you want to call in, feel free to call in. You can call me on 536-5843 if you want to just give an insight as to whatever conversation that we would have had today. Try not to be insultive, defamate anyone's character. Neither should you be obscene or threatened or obscene. All right? I think I mentioned one thing twice, but however, that it should show how important they are. So if you want to right now, you can call me on 536-5843 only via WhatsApp. And let's see how best we can maybe kill that 3 or 4 minutes that is left. All right? So if anybody wants to call in, you can do so now. I know my students are usually very quiet, eh? Always make me feel like if I know everything. Call and say something.
Where ignorance is bliss, it's folly to be wise. But is a dumb boy and a parrot, open my eyes. In the morning,
Sweetness Young, good afternoon to you.
leave me house. Like my girlfriend used to entertain, she boyfriend rouse. Every evening I would feed this parrot red pepper, and the dumb boy used to get a half of my supper. We became friends because I was kind, and this is how they trying to tell me in pantomime. The boy said, ooh, ah, e, oh, oh, and he pointing straight at me back door. Hey, 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 the parrot say, walla, walla, bing, bang, in there. I didn't stop to study this boy too well, and the story that the parrot trying to tell. I'm coming home from work as usual this day, and my girlfriend tried to greet me in the usual way. But like she fed the man my whiskey and got him drunk, so she hid him in the bathroom in my bathing trunk. And as I reach in, she plant a kiss on me mouth.
So I guess nobody wants to call in, right?
Dumb boy cock up his snout. He start again, ooh, ah, boom, boom, boom. And he pointing straight at the bathroom. Hey, 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 Lorito say, walla walla bing bang, in day.
So ladies and gentlemen, if not, we're going to end this evening. As I aforementioned, it was a pleasure being here. To the persons over on my YouTube page,
Came home next evening about half past.
I want to say God's blessings to each and every one of you.
My pantomime friend,
And we are going to see you again tomorrow.
the yard, the parrot start to ball.
God's blessings to every individual out there.
So I fed him some
Special good afternoon to the students who would have had themselves a wonderful day.
man, he pelting, bite at me hand.
And we are going to have a wonderful evening. I know we will.
Something pointed, growing out from your forehead. He start again, ah,
So thank you to the people that are asking, that are wishing me a safe journey home.
what a big laugh, hey, hey,
Wherever you're at right now, I want to say have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day.
today.
So this is yours truly, Royalty James. I'm signing out for another wonderful evening.
At length and at last, I finally saw why this boy was only pointing at my back door.
So goodbye.
Is them by passing in the back road. And as I coming in, the boyfriend was going out. But this is something I couldn't understand. He had something like a chicken leg in his hand. So I went in the kitchen and peeped in the brew, not realizing I was gazing at parrot stew. The boy said, ah, eh, eh, eh. Meaning he ain't want no food today. Hey, hey, hey. My girlfriend say you eat walla walla bing bang today.